What's up, everybody? It's your boy D-Mac. So I'm back for another episode today because I've been hearing a whole lot of conversation going on about snitching and who's a snitch and who's not a snitch and who's withstanding, who has good standing in the hood and who don't. But let's just be real about this. Hood politics are some of the lamest, most shaky, wishy-washy politics ever in the history of politics. And it's been exposed a lot by a lot of different people. It's been exposed by cats like 6ix9ine. It's been exposed by cats like Whack 100. It's been exposed by cats like Charleston White. It's been exposed by so many different cats. But one vein that I want to look into and that I want to expose and put a highlight on is the fact that the criminals don't want to take any accountability whatsoever. That's the common denominator of the whole argument, is that criminals don't want to take any accountability for their actions. And I also saw shout out to Willie D and Scarface, they podcast, Ghetto Boys podcast, because they had this conversation with Booker T and they got into an argument about it. And I was kind of leaning towards Booker T was saying, no disrespect to my OGs, but I was leaning towards what Booker T was saying, because Booker T made a good point. He said, you know, in most of those cases, about 98.5% of the time, we put ourselves in that situation by doing the crime or whatever that we did to have us there. But we don't want to shine a light on that. We don't want to harp on that because we always want to have that victim mentality in a sense. Now, I'm not saying that's all the way across the board for every situation, because we see the injustices that happen on a regular, but I definitely am saying this. When it comes down to snitching, now this is what I seen. I don't know about these other cats' neighborhoods, but where I'm from in North Carolina, if you snitch on a dope dealer or somebody out there in the street committing crime, whether you are a civilian or whether you out there in the streets yourself, if they find out who you are, something can happen to you. And a lot of times something will happen to you if they get that information, no matter what you are, no matter if you the mailman, no matter if you're a man that go to your 9 to 5 every day and take care of your family. If you out there snitching on those drug dealers and you stop their revenue, they gonna come see you. Period, point blank. So this imaginary line that some of these guys want to draw, like Whack 100 want to say that, oh, well, you a civilian, so you all right to do that. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie from hell. And don't let that man mislead y'all into believing that if you're not a criminal, it's okay for you to tell on these criminals and there's not going to be any consequences. Don't let that man lead you into that lie and that deception, because that'll get people killed. Because there's nobody out here that can snitch. Nobody out here that can hold these guys accountable for their actions. That's the real truth behind it. And if you do hold them accountable for their actions, then you are going to suffer a consequence or a penalty. Sometimes they may come through and let them things go. Sometimes it may just be your reputation in the neighborhood as being police. Oh, he told on them dudes. He the police. Oh, he went over there, was cooperating with the police officer when them dudes shot up his house and his car because they got into a shootout with each other and they didn't know how to aim. So they riddled his car and his house with bullets and could have potentially killed his child. He went over there and cooperated with the police, so he police. This is the narrative in the hood now. This is what the community is really saying about people who talk to the police in any shape, form, or fashion. And let's quit lying to people and having them thinking that there's a such thing as a civilian in the hood, because that's a lie. In the hood, if you tell on somebody for doing, you see what happened the other day. Case in point, the guy A Roy from O Block, he got killed. He was having a fight with one of his homeboys. They was throwing hands. There was an exchange of words after words. As A Roy got up, it seemed like he started walking away, going towards another scuffle that was taking on. Old boy popped. The girls who videotaped that got beat bad, got beat down by the hood. Why? Because the hood considered them snitches because they have on videotape shot the other dude from their hood. But your hood's supposed to have love for you, and you supposed to have love for your hood, right? This girl turned on her daggone phone. She wasn't expecting to capture a murder. She was expecting to record a fight on O Block, throw it up on the YouTube and World Star, so she can get a whole bunch of clicks and views and get the accolades like everybody else who do the same thing every day. That was that girl's expectation when she turned on her camera on her phone to record that fight. They're the ones who took it too far. They're the ones who made it a murder. But now this woman deserves to get brutally assaulted because of the actions that she caught of somebody else who got out of control in their neighborhood. See, she was not no snitch. That wasn't no snitch action. That's what they do every single day in the hood and everywhere else. They record these fights and they throw them up on World Star and they throw them up on these other platforms so they can get the clicks and the views. But they instantly turn that girl into a snitch because that now that video can send this dude to jail for the actions that he committed and kill somebody that the hood claimed to love. Y'all see how this thing is going? So this term snitch, that applies to everybody. It don't just apply to the people that's out there doing criminal things themselves, because this is the lie that they try to tell you. This is what the gang members and stuff want to tell you. This is the lie that Whack 100 want to tell you. If you a civilian and you a square and you not out here in these streets doing nothing, you ain't about that business and putting in work, then you get a pass. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. You ask all those people that's dead now, you ask all those people that's in witness protection programs if they get a pass for being a civilian and wanting to do their due diligence for their neighborhood. Then why do we have witness protection programs for these people? See, there's a lie that's being told, and there's people out here who do not want to be held accountable for their actions, no matter what they go through, no matter what happens. And this is the common denominator that I'm going to point out with this whole entire situation. They don't want no accountability. They don't think nobody should tell on them. They think they justified in murdering other black people. So why do they feel so justified in murdering other black people? Because they don't have no value. They don't see any value in the life of black people. They don't see any value in their own life. That's what makes it so easy for them to kill another black person, because that black person look just like them, going through the same thing as he is, coming from the same place that he do. And he hate himself and the fact that he has to go through that, so he automatically has a negative connotation towards that man that's going through the same thing as he do. We all know it. This is the struggle. This is the formula. This is the problem. We all know the problem. And like I always say, I'm a solution-oriented dude. So what's the solution? Be a man. Man up. If you out here doing the crime, then be man enough to do the time. That's just it right there. It's simple. Stop shifting the blame over to the people who are trying to really protect the hood. Stop shifting the blame over to the people who really care about the hood and who really want to take care of the hood. I heard Charleston White, he was saying a story about Nipsey Hussle. And he said at 11 years old, Aramis went up to one of the leaders of the Crips, big homie, Psycho Mike or whatever they call him, and he asked him why he want to bang. And Psycho Mike said, well, because I was born into it. And he said, Nip said, big homie, when I grow up, I'm going to take care of the hood. So why didn't somebody tell Nip, hey, little homie, you don't have to become a gang member to take care of the hood. You can take all of that same energy that you put in banging and repping the Crips and the Bloods and represent a business or represent something else. And you can take care of the hood like that, but you don't have to incorporate banging into it to be able to take care of the hood. Why didn't nobody share that with the young brother? And see, we got this whole mentality, man, and I've seen it time and time again. I've seen murders in my own neighborhoods coming up, and absolutely nobody will say nothing. Everybody is out there, and they claim to have love for these people in the hood until one of them gets shot and killed, and everybody go quiet until it comes right up to their doorstep. But then they want to redirect that negative energy to the people who won't open up their mouth and say nothing on behalf of their loved one. But when it comes to anybody else, I ain't seen nothing. I don't know nothing. I ain't getting involved in that. I'm not bringing that energy to my. It becomes a different thing. So we can't have it both ways, and we can't be talking out of both sides of our mouth when it comes to this topic. Bottom line is this: in the hood, it don't matter what your status is. If you talk to the police, you consider police, period, point blank. And there's somebody who will come and see you if they hear a strong enough persuasive argument that you are just that. I remember this dude when I was coming up, man. They found him down in Caldwell Park in Concord, North Carolina, with his tongue cut out for snitching. There's many people that I've known over the years who lost their lives for allegedly snitching. And not all of them was gangbangers. Not all of them was dope boys. Not all of them was pimps or hustlers out here in the streets. It was regular, everyday people who saw something. So let's quit telling this lie, man. Whack 100, quit telling that lie. Charleston White, quit telling that lie. All you other content providers out there who like to stand behind that gang culture, quit telling that lie to people. Let them know that y'all gonna kill them, whether they are a civilian or whether they out there in the streets. If you find out that they told on you, tell the truth to these people. Don't hide behind the lie, because only fearful people do that. Cowards. I was always told this: if you lie to somebody, you only lie out of fear. So who are you afraid of to the point to where you're willing to alter the truth? So who are y'all afraid of to the point that y'all willing to alter the truth all the time? Because y'all steady lying to the public. All y'all gang members steady lying to the public and trying to paint this persona for yourself that's not true. You may want it to be true, but it's not, because you know you don't have your little homies in check to be able to enforce anything like that. So let's not play that lie like y'all got things in check, because your old Jesus dying just like your young Jesus dying. Sometimes at the hands of the young Jesus. So yeah, man, snitching is what it is. If you say anything to the police against uh, any of these little boys and little girls who was never held accountable by their parents coming up for whatever those reasons may be. I'm not going to disparage anybody's parenting, but for whatever reason, these little boys and these little girls grew into grown men and women who have never been held accountable for their actions in the hood and was always able to get off with whatever they could get off with. Now they become grown-ups and the stakes are a lot higher now, and they still have that same mentality of no accountability, but now they're being held accountable and they don't understand why they can't get out of it like they used to when they was a little kid. This is what the hood has produced. This is what the community and the environment has produced. This is our problem to deal with, not the government. The government didn't make this problem. This is our problem to deal with because these people are making personal choices to do what they do. And when I say these people, I'm talking about the criminals who are going out here and killing people who they call civilians, who so-called have the right to report a crime. And we're not going to allow, we're not going to murky up the waters, and we're not going to create this fake narrative that there's a safe zone for citizens and civilians, because it's not. So you can talk to the police, but make sure you do it with that blur on your face that they have on the first 48, or you go in secret somewhere or have a secret phone call or whatever. But these people do need to be held accountable for their actions. That's no doubt about that. And that is the common denominator that's always missing in the thread of these arguments that people be having. They need to be held accountable one way or the other. And you can call it snitching, you can call it what you want to, but you're being held accountable for your actions, and that's what needs to happen in order for justice to take place. So while people out here screaming no justice, no peace, you need to recognize the peace that you're denying the hood by the lack of justice that you're willing to give it. Yo, this is your boy D-Mac, man. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here while I'm on a hot note. You know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.